All right, well, let's move on to today's Top Talkers. Folks, 3 Americans and 1 Briton have been honored for their incredible act of bravery last Friday. U.S. Airman Spencer Stone, National Guardsman Alec Scarlatos, and their longtime friend Anthony Salder were able to subdue a would-be attacker, heavily armed on a passenger train to Paris. They were assisted in disabling the attacker by British businessman Chris Norman, preventing what could have been the latest lone wolf act of terror. The men were honored yesterday by French President Francois Hollande with the Legion of Honor Medal. Now, this is France's top honor, folks. Hollande said, quote, that faced with their terror, we have the power to resist. You also gave a lesson in courage, in will, and thus hope. Now, the gunman was identified as 26-year-old Moroccan Ayoub El Kazani. Now, he is being detained and he's being questioned by French authorities. His attorney, Sophie David, said that the gunman was only intending to, quote, rob the train with a cache of guns that he came across in a public garden near the station. She continued that she is, quote, dumbfounded by the fact that his crime is being treated as an act of terrorism. There is, however, no question that the men who thwarted what could have been a massacre are international heroes. So a lot of components to this. You know, obviously we want to give the focus to these 4 men that really put their lives on the line and saved, a train full of 500 passengers. But the fact that the attorney is saying, why are you thinking this is an act of terror? Oh, I don't know, because it was an act of terror.
Yep.
It was. I think it's going to be interesting.
Just an attorney being an attorney.
And I think that it's going to be interesting. You make this statement that he came across these guns. Well, guns have serial numbers. They can be traced, the origins of it. So if it turns out that he didn't just happen upon a cache of guns and think, I'm going to rob a train, then what are you going to say? Then what is the story? But regardless of that, these 3 Americans and this Briton, absolute heroes.
Yes.
And it just a great testament of these men just standing up, to protect these other people, putting their lives on the line and just, not really giving it a second thought. So I think the entire world is very proud of them today, as well they should be.
Yes. All right, switching gears, something we talked about last week, breaking records, and that's exactly what pop sensation Taylor Swift has done. The Bad Blood singer began a record-breaking run in California Friday night. Fans lined up at the Staples Center in Los Angeles as Swift kicked off the first of 5 sold-out nights at the venue. The 25-year-old has now sold out 16 shows at the Staples Center, a first in the arena's 15-year history. During a break in the action, Kobe Bryant decided to surprise Swift with some personal congratulations. She even got her own banner raised to the rafters alongside all the Lakers championships. After the concert, Swift reached out to Bryant, thanking him, and he responded by saying, quote, my pleasure, keep breaking records and changing lives. So cool. You're a fan of the Lakers.
I am a fan of the Lakers.
And I'm a fan of Taylor Swift.
So it's the perfect
combination. It's a perfect story for us. But that's incredible. 16 times.
Yeah, that's incredible. And you consider how many bands play Staples. I mean, that's, one of the premier venues in LA. So for you to break the record in the Staples Center is quite something.
So the closest that Taylor Swift is coming to us is Denver, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that one's the closest.
So
I have a few friends going to that one.
When are you going? So I know when you're going to be out of town.
I'm not going.
You're not going.
I wish I were going. Someday I'll see Taylor Swift.
Someday.
But
someday.
Not
Is it because you will be with child?
I might just be with child. So
the wee flowers.
With the little tiny baby flowers.
Little tiny baby flowers. All right. Well, iPhone 6 users, listen up. If your pictures have been looking a little blurry, it's not your eyes. Apple is recalling a batch of iPhones over a defect that causes them to take blurry pictures. The problem is with the iSight camera on certain iPhone 6 Plus smartphones. The recall affects phones sold between September 2014 and January of 2015. Now, customers can have the cameras replaced for free at the Apple stores. You can also do it at authorized service providers or by contacting technical support. So again, this only affects the iPhone 6 Plus models. Those are the phablets.
So everybody else, if your pictures are blurry,
it's your fault.
It's just because of you.
Exactly. There is something wrong with your eyes. But if it is your iPhone 6 Plus, again, and it's only phones that were sold between September 2014 and January of 2015. So take a look through your photos. If you feel that they're a little blurry, it might actually be something with the camera. So that's good that they're going to replace it for free. So if you have any question about this, definitely contact the Apple Store. Really friendly folks over there. Of course, I have never been in the Apple Store where it is not packed.
Yeah.
Like times that you're like,
People
oh, it's
love the
not
Apple
mean
Store. They like to play with all the stuff, and everybody really is very nice and very helpful.
Very helpful. So definitely take advantage of this because it's very rare that a lot of times that they'll say, well, we'll just do it for free. No problem, no questions asked. Just bring it in, we'll fix it.
Yeah. All right. Well, alligators are known to be one of the fiercest predators on the planet, but for one family in Detroit, they seem more of a pet. Spike, the alligator, was taken away on Friday. Animal Control came to the house of Tommy Allen after receiving a complaint about an alligator in Allen's backyard. Fenced in during the summertime and kept inside with a pool in the winter, Spike has quite the life in Allen's home. He was kept on a diet mainly consisting of rats, and Allen says he has never had problems with Spike and that the neighborhood kids just love him. Authorities are trying to figure out Spike's next home, and Allen says he's going to miss his longtime pal. So, pet alligator, what do you think? No? I don't get it.
We live in New Mexico.
Yep.
We're pretty far from having alligators,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't. Of course, I wouldn't have a pet snake either. I'm one of the old traditional, like a dog or a cat or a dog. Or a dog.
Or a dog.
Or a dog.
But we went to the zoo a couple weeks ago, and we were looking at the alligators, and Cannon very smartly thought that they were very scary. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, they are very scary. And then we got this guy in Detroit over here who says the neighborhood kids love him. He's just my pet.
The neighborhood kids love him. Like, how do you go? Because they don't pet him. Like you're not letting them pet. They're like, oh, he's so cool. Because it's like the same thing. You're looking at him like he's at a zoo.
Yeah.
Which is, they are either in the wild and you let them do their thing.
And you hear about those stories of people's pets like attacking them.
Yes.
Like this is
there
an
are
alligator.
certain animals that are not meant to be pets, and I mean tragically, people have been debilitated. These incredible injuries. They have been killed. They have had horrible misfigurings from it. So. It boggles, on a serious note, it kind of boggles my mind some of these people, some people that choose to have these incredibly exotic animals as pets. They're exotic for a reason. They are not domesticated.
And then if Spike ever did attack old Tommy here, Tommy would
do?
be like, I was so shocked. He was such a good
Everyone
pet.
loved him. He's an alligator. He's doing what alligators do.
He's just doing his alligator thing.
Doing his alligator thing.